The deleted maps of Counter-Strike, boys. My favorite YouTuber. Pretty much for CS2 right now, together with DuoWeb. We go in!
Picture this, a Counter-Strike map
Shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch.
Cheapest sapphire on skin bid Mardrilla. Been up there for a while.
I don't even have,
bump this?
like, I felt weird about having, like, pinned comment or something, or, like, being shameless today because I was offline for so long. Let me just put it up so they don't think that I'm, like, fucking quitting the project or something. Zack, Kuss, Bruder, Kuss, Kuss, Kuss. Let's see what we got.
Designed for competitive play that had been played.
The deleted maps of Counter-Strike. Vamos.
Picture this, a Counter-Strike map designed for competitive play that had been played professionally in previous iterations of the game finally gets an updated version for CSGO. It's added to the game to applause from the community, and it feels like only a matter of time before it's added to the professional pool. But that moment never comes, and the map slowly drifts into higher and higher queue times, before being removed from the game eventually. You probably have an idea of a map in your mind. The truth is,
the map where you play inside of a terrarium. And, no, even bigger than that, zoo.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch.
Hello,
okay,
I just opened a cookery knife, Crimson Web.
Big congrats. I can't check right now. I will mute alerts for the video, okay? Kuss, kuss, kuss. Zoo. I swear on God, zoo was a vibe, bro. A vibe.
as though I've just described two maps. Despite being released to fanfare and widespread love from the community, Season and Tuscan have both fallen to the wayside since. Let's
Tuscan, this one is for you. I hate that map.
take a deep dive into the respective histories of these maps, figure out why they were left behind, and evaluate whether or not there is any hope left. This video is brought to you by SkinsMonkey, a site where you can easily and safely trade your skins. With SkinsMonkey, you can instantly swap out your old skins and get something new. You can use code PENGUIN on the site to get two new things. First off, you get a free $5 after you complete your first trade with a maximum bonus if you spend
I love how after the ad, it's the most replayed moment, bro. Because everyone is like, nah, that's crazy. I never realized that.
Let's start with Season. Season was created first by Ted McIlvaine for Counter-Strike Source, and was released on January 9th, 2007. It remains the most downloaded Counter-Strike map of all time on Game Banana. During its lifespan in CS Source, it became one of the most respected maps in the game, being used in CPL, CEVO, and CAL tournaments. During the switch to Global Offensive, it did receive a port, but it was nothing new. However, later, Ted teamed up with FM Pone to create a completely original CSGO version of the map. This version was introduced in Operation Bloodhound, and listening to takes from the community from around that time, everyone was pretty sure that it was going to be the next official professionally played map. I mean, up until that point, its journey was about the same as that of Cash. Pro play.
Oh my god. Chat. Cash. The leaks that we saw about the CS2 version of Cash, man, that map is gonna be nice. Man. Don't say Satch. Don't say Satch Cash. We're getting Cash, most likely. He's the guy is remaking it. 100% it's gonna be in game. 100%, no? Let me see if I can find the leaks real quick. Zack, look at this. First look, Cash for CS2. We all, let's hope all, minus Mirage, plus Cash. Right? Nein, I know that you all want Vertigo gone, but... Bruder. I mean, it would be a tough loss, but it would be a good replacement as well. Not gonna lie. It would be my new main map, I guess.
Was the logical next step. Before we go any further, let's talk a bit about Season. In honor of it being 2024, 10 years after the year that Season was first uploaded to the workshop, let's take a time machine and discuss this map in the style of that era. Season is a 3-lane map characterized by its mid-focused playstyle and width. Because of its width, rotates from the CTs are very long, which is why mid is so important. CTs can shave around 10 seconds off of their rotates if they're able to come through mid. If the terrorists control
I have to say it. I swear on God, is it just me? I love Penguins' videos, but sometimes I don't connect with the topic that much. You know what I mean? If he made videos on something more like, or is this hella interesting to most people? This right here, where it's like, oh, 3-lane map, I don't know. TikTok brain? Nein, I'm just saying, like if he was talking about other topics, bro, Zack, easy 500k views, bro. This guy is making boss videos. It's just a very niche, small niche that he's making videos for. You know what I mean? I can still enjoy it, But I know he has much bigger potential if he was attacking some topics that would attract the brighter mass as well, the bigger mass. You know what I mean? I say it as a friend.
Control this part of the map, retakes become much tougher. Mid-control for the terrorists also opens up the possibility for them to split sites, making taking the sites easier as well.
This is niche. This is for the OG CS people who have played these maps and stuff. You know, it's not something like if you would make something about CS2 and stuff, it would be 10 times views.
The Ts have 3 conventional.
I was talking to Penguin right now, guys. Calm down.
Entrance points to mid, vent, door, and mid main. If they take advantage of a few of these along with some well-timed utility, they gain a large advantage in the round. Because of this, CTs have very specific game plans here as well. In older versions of the game, they would usually post up a player in this corner called sniper spot, colloquially, and have them throw some utility, namely HE grenades and smokes. Because of this, Ts generated counterplay in the other direction. For example, here is Team Vindicated using a wallbang through these boxes. Another particularly innovative piece of counterplay is this boost utilized by Swole Patrol over the same boxes. The sights on Season are really unorthodox. A site feels like the more complete of the two. It plays with verticality in an interesting way and feels natural to hold despite being a bit strange at first glance. B site on the other hand, I am not as big a fan of. It feels far too open and I don't know exactly where to play when I first step foot into it. It feels like the most natural positions
I never played this
on the site are one and done spots. It's not unplayable though, it still works generally. In all, Season is a very deep and rewarding competitive map that also has quite a few aim duel focused peaks. The comparison that I would give today is probably a slightly more complex Dust 2 with weird sights. And we're back. Alright, hopefully you guys kind of understand the appeal of Season a bit more after that.
Yeah.
It's seriously a fun map, even with its flaws. So, let's ask ourselves the ultimate question of this video. Why was Season left behind? I did some research, looking up Reddit threads from around the time and since then, asking why, and everyone's responses kind of seemed to be the same as mine, not really having a concrete reason as to why Season could never have been in the professional pool. However, there are a range of explanations. The most common that I found was that the map was not directly owned by Valve, it was a community map, which means that someone outside of their inner circle had control over its changes. This makes sense and in hindsight probably is correct. However, there is a discrepancy here. Cache was also a community map and it's made its way into the pro pool just the same. Maybe they had a bad experience with Cache and didn't want to risk it again. I don't think so though. Another reason that I could see is that Valve had the plans already laid out for the future of the professional pool and Season just never worked its way in. With the
Dude, I still can't believe when we're talking about pay of he just said like it wasn't owned by them, the map, right? There are maps that Valve owns that they bought. And for example, we saw it leaked in code, how much they paid for Anubis, and it was $100,000 for the rights. What the hell? I swear that guy got scammed. 100K, that's it? For a whole map. That is now one of the, how many? 8 maps in CS2? 150K, sorry, 150K, still nothing. A single skin, if you get a skin into the kilowatt case, a random blue, I couldn't even name every skin in the kilowatt case. I can name every single map, I think. Nah, I could. In the active map pool. And a skin maker, if you get a blue into a case, it's like 400K, 300K, depending on how well the case sells and stuff. Bruder, 150K for a map. That's crazy to me.
exception of the COVID.
I spent a lot longer on Anubis than a guy on Dooley's hideout. 300K right here. Nar.
Years since the inception of the majors, Valve has shifted the professional map pool by one map each year. The year Cache was added was another special.
150K plus percentage. Is that true? I don't know how it is when. I don't even know how much we can talk about this, but I talked to people before, and I'm pretty sure people get as well from the time a map is in the map pool, they get something during that time. You know what I mean? Like a, not a wage, but like something monthly. Every month it's in the map pool. But if they buy the map, I don't know if that still remains.
Exception, as they expanded the pro pool from 5 maps to 7 while shifting out terrain and in a third map. From that point forward, it's likely Valve had a general idea of the next map to be played professionally for
It's crazy how... I just realized, Chad, how Valve is ripping off their creators, or am I tripping? Have you seen Fortnite? If Fortnite, they see you make a map that makes people play your game, and they give them fucking millions. If you have like, what is it? The Fortnite numbers are ridiculous. In Fortnite, people can make mods and maps like people can do in CS. Fortnite map per 1,000 players pay. Suck. If you have a map with 1,000 average players, you can potentially make 30k to 50k a month. Bro, in 10,000 players, fucking 300k, 500k. You're making millions if you got a fucking popular map in Fortnite. You make Anubis, one of the what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 maps or 8 maps, 150k. Nar.
At least
Roblox as well, yeah. They pay out a lot more to those people. Valve is, from the outside, from the numbers we know, seems a little greedy.
Year or two in advance. In fact, until the introduction of Vertigo in 2019, the pool was only shifted to remove one map so Valve could remake it and reintroduce it the following year. And by the time 2019 rolled around, the golden age of Season had simply passed. With CS2, there is always hope. This is the time for precedents to change, but I seriously doubt the possibility of Season making its way into the professional pool, or even making its way back into the game in any form. It will most likely live forever as a what if. But to present a very unlikely best possible scenario for the map, what would need to happen is a very talented mapper would need to pick Season back up and completely revamp it visually. Then it would need to be added back to the game and remain popular enough to survive the normal cycle of community maps. And finally, it would probably at this point need to be bought out by Valve, so they have the rights to be added to the professional pool. Wait, hold on a minute, that sounds a bit familiar. Let's take this opportunity to shift to talking about the map where those exact things did happen, Tuscan. Tuscan began in CS 1.6 as a map designed to essentially rip off another popular map, CPL Mill. Mill was owned under copyright by the esports organization CPL, and as such could only be played in CPL tournaments. Tuscan was not just a straight-up copy of Mill though, it ironed out—
Oh my god, Chad, I can't imagine the nostalgia that some of you guys are getting from this. Oh, sorry, I can imagine. Because this, to me, I used to play a game, I said this before, bro. I played Urban Terror back in my days. This was my childhood game, bro. And if I see this, I'm getting goosebumps, bro. I want to cry if I see this. The hours that I played fucking zombie mode in this game, or sniper only, SR8 only. So this is probably for you guys, some of your guys' fucking childhood, bro. Jesus. Bring me back for a day.
Tuscan was not just a straight-up copy of Mill though, it ironed out a couple issues that people had with Mill at the time. A key example of these quality of life improvements being the way that Underpass was streamlined. In the transition to CSGO, Tuscan did not make an appearance until 2014 when the map's original creator, Brute, finally released an updated version for the new game. This updated version was considered less than ideal. It was very cluttered and claustrophobic. As a result of these issues, this version of Tuscan was never added to CSGO officially, and the map lay dormant for years. Most people don't know this, but the first video that I made on Counter-Strike was on DE Tuscan. It was from a very long time ago, is very bad, and has been deleted for a while, but it's a part of my history, and if I'm going to talk about Tuscan again, I thought—
Self-like, classic. One thing I always do, like own YouTube videos, like my own tweets. Fuck it. I don't give— Hey, if I tweet something and I don't like, bro, of course, I like my own tweets. Hello? That's why I tweeted it, bro. I wouldn't tweet something I don't like. Smell me? And I swear it does something to the algorithm as well. It shows up in people's feed and it says like, ohnePixel like this, even though it's your own post. I swear it does something. I don't know.
But it might as well
It's not cringe. Just bitterness, you know?
Also, just speaking of my channel, I did just set up a Discord server. Check the link in the description if you want to join. At the time that video was released, things were about as bleak as ever for Tuscan, but around a year later, Catfood and Brute jointly announced that they were working on reviving the map. So yes, I do take full credit. The development was fairly public, with screenshots and playtest footage releasing frequently. When this map was released, most of the community kind of agreed that it was just going to be the next map added to the professional pool. It was beautiful, it felt like it was designed for modern Counter-Strike, and it stayed faithful to the old versions of the map. Tuscan was first added to the game alongside the reintroduction of Anubis as a part of the CSGO 10 10th anniversary update. At this point, the community believed that it was essentially a done deal and Tuscan would be the next map to get the professional treatment. A little while after this update came out, it was revealed in the game files that Valve had not just added Tuscan and Anubis to the game, but they had fully bought out the rights to both maps for $150,000 US and now had complete control over them. This approach is completely novel and provides us with more of a path for community mappers to follow.
I wonder how the negotiations were like, bro. Or if these are just public numbers. Because look, like it's not even like these numbers could be false because it was seen in the game files. One-time payment for map DE Tuscan Maybe they just put this to the public, but they paid a much bigger number. And now when they try to buy a map in the future, they can say, oh, but we paid 150k for Anubis only. You know what I mean? Bro, but because no way, if I made a map like Anubis, Valve came to me, yo, we really want your map. You know you have a crazy product that you worked months on, 150k? Nah. I kind of want to message one of these guys, bro, and see, like, what it was like. Like, the negotiations, how was it, the discussing. Did they offer 150k? They just said yes, didn't even negotiate. Poor.
The rights to both maps for $150,000 and now had complete
NDA,
control over them. This approach is
Probably can't say anything.
completely novel and provides us with more of a path for community mappers to follow if they want their maps to be added to the professional pool. With hindsight, we now know that Anubis was the first of the two chosen to be added to the professional pool, and once again I do take credit for this. Currently, unfortunately, there is no version of Tuscan available in CS2. So, is Tuscan going to fall into the same limbo that Season did? My answer is a resounding no. Valve are not the type of people to spend $150,000 on a map and not make good use of it.
That's
Tuscan
crazy.
almost certainly will
Bro,
be
they make 150k an hour. Nah, bro. I swear they're cheap as hell.
re-implemented, and I have a good amount of faith that it will be played professionally in Counter-Strike 2. Season and Tuscan both deserve to be in the map pool. The issue is that, realistically, a lot of maps are of the caliber that could be in the pool. These days, mappers have gotten to the level of, or even better than Valve themselves. There are many community maps that are definitely good enough to be played professionally. The map pool can only have 7 maps, and only one changes year by year. That's not a lot of leeway, and we need to accept that not a lot
this
of
map here is so sexy, bro. Launders also, a must watch for you guys. Launders also uploaded a video where he talked with the creator, aka FM Pone. Bang. This right here, bro. A must watch. He talked for 1 hour with fucking FM Pone. CS2's next map. And they're waffling about everything, bro. And one thing that is very important, which I actually want to show you real quick, is here, I think. I think it's right at the end. No, here. Because everybody who says, oh my god, but CS2, like, oh, it was the worst launch ever. But a lot of things as well that you don't even think about have gotten so much better with CS2. Like,
of different images, and it's you know, like these chandeliers are completely modeled.
Wait for it.
I drew this, you know, from scratch. So
Wow.
just, yeah, everything is custom. There's nothing that's like taken from the game. I mean, there are little stupid things like this crate here is taken from the game. But,
wait for it.
you know, this door is not, these lights are not, this texture is not, this 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 is, so
Right.
on and on and on. You know, I can name on probably one hand the assets that are from the game that are in this. This motor is from the game.
Okay, one final question for you. Something else I've always wondered. Mapping is a lot of effort, and like each map you make, I don't think anyone holds out hope that they're going to end up in the 7 maps that will be in the competitive map pool. So, how does it feel to finish a map, to go through a playtesting cycle, and maybe to get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm actually going to work on something new now, and
Yeah.
accept that maybe this isn't the map that's going to make it in? What's the feeling like? Are you still sort of just like happy you made something beautiful art that you can appreciate, that you got to play test with a lot of people?
No,
or
no,
does
no.
the feeling, does a lot rest on the thought and hope that it can one day be played in the competitive map pool?
Well, there's tiers of achievement, at least. Okay, so I don't know what it's going to be like for CS2, but I can tell you what it was like for CS:GO. There was tiers of achievement, right? So you could get a map included in
Oh! I think it's right at the end. Here.
And then had the interview spliced in, but the interview is so good, man, that I was walking around off.
Fuck! I'm gonna snap. Bro, but he basically says, I'm just gonna rephrase it in his words.
You got to play test with.
In my words. He said, Source 1 in Go mapping was a clusterfuck. CS2 makes it so much easier. The new, forgot what it's called, the editor. It's a different editor, like Tomb or something it's called, I don't know. It's a whole different editor and stuff, and it's so much smoother. So much smoother. Like you said, so much smoother. Hammer. Hammer's the editor called. And it is a night and day difference. Like, it is CS2 is a huge leap forward for all the mappers, all the mod makers and stuff, which are gonna make as well stuff updates a lot cooler, right? A lot faster because it's easier to do stuff like new maps and shit. It's not the spaghetti code anymore, not this shit engine anymore. Zack. Yeah, CS2 big potential. All right, and FM Pone, the cache creator himself, said that in an interview. Must watch Launders. YouTube Launders.
Maps are going to get that
Wichtig, Chat.
opportunity. Right now, if you go on the internet to ask people what map should be added to the Pro Pool next, you'll get a ton of answers, but probably 4 main responses. Tuscan, Cobble, Train, and Cache. That is 4 maps. If you were to reshuffle the pool and add each of them, it would take 4 years. To put that in perspective, 4 years ago was just before the start of the COVID pandemic. So, what does this mean? We need a larger map pool, we need to change maps more frequently? I'm not sure, but I lean the latter. I think it makes a lot more sense to change the map pool by 1 map after each major. This gives each map more of a chance while still remaining a massive and important shift in the way the game is played.
that.
I used to have a far more defined take on this, but I'm really not so certain anymore, and I've become a lot more open to the idea of a 9-map pool. Still though, I'm skeptical. Honestly, if you have more concrete thoughts on this, I'd love to hear them in the comments. The mirrored stories of Season and Tuscan tell us a lot about the shifting landscape of the mapping scene of Counter-Strike. Community contributions
Pros would go nuts, no? Imagine it was the case when Valve takes out a map, adds a new one after every major. Bro, remember when Dust 2 got taken off? Oh, hey, rest in peace, Big Clan, bro. Like, some of these teams, they breathe. It's their bread and butter, certain maps, you know? Imagine Valve just, like, taking out one every major. For a viewer, though, and for a person playing the game, keeping it fresh, and watching games pro play, I would find it interesting, for sure. Giving the teams a new challenge every single time. If they hate the new map, they can still ban it, you know?
are today as important as ever to the health of the game, as it seems like Valve has slowed down a bit with their original content, at least for a while until the game is in a bit more of a finished state. While it's true that not every map can make it into the professional limelight, each one, like Season and Tuscan, carries its unique legacy, iris, biome, insertion, etc. We sometimes lose focus and forget that Counter-Strike isn't just about the pros and what's happening at the top of the scene. Counter-Strike maps are meant to be played. Thank you.
For real, for
Alright,
real.
it's another one in the books.
Oh, I love his yapping always at the end.
Thank you guys so much for sticking around until the end. Once more, check out the Discord server, link is in the description. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, I might stream a little bit more. Just recently did an appearance on Goldeck's birthday stream, it was a lot of fun.
Aww.
Love Goldeck, love all those guys that I was on that stream with. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna be more active on the internet, I think, just generally, other platforms. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I
Guys,
will
quick follow.
see you in the next one, which hopefully won't be too far away. Oh yeah, also, I did an interview with Techni, so check the description, there's also going to be a link to that. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Leave a follow,
whenever
leave
that
a
is.
like, ring the bell, leave a Twitch Prime on his Twitch, join his Discord, do it all, do it all.